Hello, Tenkar. This is the one true Jason that all other Jameses hope to be. I just thought I'd drop in, let you know that the tavern chat is chatty and taverny. So, well done going along with your title there. As for the squirrel, I think you see a nut over there, sir. Move along. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason, James. The names just begin with J. Who's really paying attention? You are listening to the Tavern Chat podcast. I am your host, Eric Tenkar. We are recording this on my parents' back porch in the Pocono Mountains. I'm away for the weekend. I'm using my phone to record this, so if it sounds like crap, I'll have to buy a headset and record from my little laptop. But in any case, I thought I would talk a little bit about the OSR market, a little bit about Kickstarters. It's all going to blend in, hopefully, and make coherent sense by the end. But if not, bear with me. I'm hopefully not going to waste too much of your time with this. But I was thinking, when it comes to the OSR, it's primarily a fantasy market. Sci-fi is certainly viable, as we have seen, thanks to Crawford and his excellent stars without number, and of course James Bond's White Star. Now, they both approach things differently, but the thing with White Star is that White Star opened up a support market for sci-fi gaming in the OSR. White Star is OGO, it's open content. Kevin's stuff, the stars without number, is not. And I don't know if anybody's reached out to Kevin and tried to publish support material for it. I have no idea. I'm not in that loop, but I've seen with the release of White Star the large amount of support material that's shown up that can be used with pretty much any old school sci-fi game, including Kevin's. But again, fantasy is the primary market. Okay. When it comes to being a publisher in the old school gaming or any kind of role-playing games, you have to see what you're marketing for. Now, your largest market is core rules and support material for the core rules, because those are aimed at players. And if it's aimed at players, it's also aimed at game masters. Game masters have to know the rules their players are playing with. It's called evening the field. So that, in theory, would be the market. If you were going to publish something in science fiction, you want to be able to hit the largest portion of the OSR sci-fi market. You're going to produce stuff that can be used by players and GMs. Okay. We move on from there. We're starting to whittle down. We're getting to the niche within a niche. Now you have adventures, you have settings. Those are primarily aimed at game masters. Although there's a lot of players that collect that stuff too, they love reading it, that's fine, but your potential market is already shrinking once you get to the point that you're looking at material for game masters, primarily. Now, shrink your potential market even further. Now you're not just going for game masters, you're going for third-party publishers. You're aiming your material as support material for publishers. In this case, we're talking like James Shields with his current sci-fi stock art Kickstarter. Now, I'm a huge proponent of stock art. When Inkwell Designs had their initial stock art Kickstarters years ago, I was backing them, and I was not involved in publishing. I was in Swords and Wizardry, Continual Light, and none of that stuff was distantly within my mindset. Trust me. But I knew at some point I would like to publish, and even if it just meant content on my blog using artwork that I had rights to, not just stuff that I was skimming off the internet and, you know, but stuff that I could actually say, hey, I can link to a page on my blog that says this is open content and this artwork is copyright Eric Quigley. This artwork is copyright Fat Goblin Games, just whatever, but I have permission to use it. There's something empowering when you actually know what you're using, you can, legally use. But now, if you are aiming stock art at, we've already said science fiction is the redheaded stepchild of the OSR, if you want to say that. That certainly, it has an active fan base, but you're not going to be hitting the same amount of potential customers if you're aiming your support material at science fiction as opposed to fantasy. You need a nice little twist, and again, James has a nice little twist. His stock art is customizable. I love that fact. It means that me, Joe Schmo, and John Doe can all use the same artwork, and it won't look exactly the same. When I think of stock art, that in my mind, I've seen in numerous products that Dire Rat that's been on the cover of at least one product, and internally, like in two products. I think I used it on the blog for a month back in the day. Good stock artwork gets reused. That's the whole point. It's artwork that multiple people can have the rights to, and that's why it's inexpensive compared to commissioning artwork for just your use. So, if you followed along with this winding road, the point that I'm trying to make here is that if you are going for that niche within a niche within a niche, you have to do something to make yourself stand out. I think James Shields is doing that with his new sci-fi stock art release. But he has to, because his pool that he can draw upon, potentially as customers, is smaller than if he was doing this for fantasy. The other issue is, since there are more people producing material for fantasy, there's more competition in the support material side for material for the third-party publishers. So there's a give and take on that. Anyhow, I don't know if you can hear the birds whistling and the occasional wind chiming, but yes, this is a very nice little getaway, and I am happy I am up here. And hopefully I come home, my batteries are recharged. I do have things planned both on the blog side and for things to kick off content-wise after North Texas, which is in about a week and a half. My God, it's catching up. Oh, one quick thing. I don't know if you folks listen to our favorite grognard, Tim Cask, but he has, I believe, it's called the Grognard in the Basement, or Grognard in the Basement. It's a YouTube channel. It's always an interesting listen. A recent one, he talks about the Gygax Memorial Fund, and he's looking to start a petition to petition the government of the state of Wisconsin to force the GMF to comply with state regulations and transparency. I don't know how effective that's going to be. I really don't know if the state gives a flying fuck, to be honest. The fund is a very small fish, and I'm sure a very populated pond of nonprofits that may or may not be complying with every regulation and may or may not be achieving the goals they set out to do. But I will try to link the YouTube video, which was it's also posted in the Tavern's Facebook community. I think Jonathan Perkle was the one that linked it up. It was an interesting thing. And if you were somebody like me who followed Wormy back in the day in Dragon, there's some interesting stuff after that bit about the GMF. All right. I think I've spent enough time with you this morning. I don't want to overstay my welcome. Nothing worse than trying to get a friend out of the frickin' house. It's time. It's time. Go. So I will check in tomorrow. I think this makes 10 episodes straight. Look at that. Oh my God, I'm thinking something else too. It looks like we have somebody else stepping into the pool. Old Man Grognard himself. Now, if you don't know who Old Man Grognard is, Glenn Hellstrom. He's downloaded the Anchor app, and he's going to be starting up his own Anchor podcast. It looks like we started a trend here, folks. Not me. I'm just part of the trend. But I kind of raised the visibility a little bit, and I'm happy to see everybody jumping aboard. Might have to make a page for Anchor Podcasts on the blog so people can find them for the OSR. All right, definitely overstayed my welcome. Later, folks.